criminally slowly on the first map, and you saw them start to build back. You saw a lot of the successes you're more used to seeing. Hello again. Nice to see you.
I was rubbing my eye.
So I wanna come in here with a little bit of grace and say that this was just a very high pressure day for YFP. They were feeling that at the start of map number 1, but it's time to show up early here on Corrode to get some hope coming in, especially on the attack side.
Where are you?
A lot of focus around the middle of the map. The eye already tagging Oriental, and this idea of the knife and the dash through mid is already snuffed out. You were looking for Grace. You were looking for them to start off on the right foot, and this has been anything but so far.
Well, you know what? How about if Glowstick gets those 2 kills? How about you give a little bit of grace back? You know, maybe you're reacting a little bit too early. I'm still feeling the faith. I'm feeling the hope. It's alive in the air, Doug.
Better late than never, I suppose. And
don't ask how much health the YFP players have. That's not relevant to the discussion.
Should I also not ask who's alive on this side?
No. Definitely don't do that. Definitely don't tell me that Starbound has 25 armor, has 4 bullets on the Headhunter. I don't want to know.
Right. Okay. Well, then I won't tell you. I'm just going to tell everyone else that this is a miserably difficult position for YFP, even if they did get the spike down. And it just went from hard to harder. Believe it or not, the flash is quite nice. The bullets don't land, and there goes that pistol, and there goes the quick start that we were hoping for on the side of YFP.
Don't tell me who won the round. It's not relevant to the discussion. It's not relevant to the game. It's certainly not relevant to YFP starting things strong here on map number 2.
Yeah.
So now we get to see everything you know to expect from WADA. I think the only thing that changes typically when WADA play is, well, Femboy is playing Raze or Neon. The rest seems oddly familiar, map to map typically, and on low buy rounds as well. You're going to see the Judge come in for Femboy. You're going to see the Outlaw for Starbound. The long-range, close-range combo piece has been so effective for WADA all year long.
And teams still struggle with it, which is, I guess, is a different conversation to have at another time. I think you know what to expect when you're playing against a team like WADA, right? Like, you know what they're going to do. You know who the players are going to be. You know the positions they're going to be in. But they consistently find a way to best the opposition, Christy. How do they do it?
Well, I think a lot of that is, you know the idea of what they want to do, but you don't necessarily know where they're going to be every round. And also, when you have someone so strong on close-range guns and so strong on long-range guns, well, usually your util patterns can only deal with one of those options, you know? Or you have to send so much to clear one space. So if you want to play the diligent, slow rounds, that requires a huge investment of utility and patience and being very detailed as you scale forward into space. I think a lot of teams that find success versus WADA, it's usually a little bit in the confidence game. Like, you almost have to be able to step into Starbound's crosshair and just win that fight and not get spooked away and back away once you lose that challenge a couple of times, which is so easy to, you start getting scared when Starbound is in the server against you.
Fear is the mind killer, or so they say.
Ben Jessup?
Yeah. I mean, come on. That was a fire line, and you just messed it up. You messed up the whole thing.
They don't.
And now we're gonna see them try to exec out onto the side with nothing but pistols. You got some dashes. You got some shotguns, and it's another pretty dominant round out from WADA, all things considered. Barring heroics from Sherrod, who will not even get the opportunity. So, what were some of the weapons they're going to carry into the next, right? You've got a Bulldog, I presume, will be picked up. Or actually,
Judge. Always the Judge.
Right. Yep. That was
it doesn't matter if the Bulldog is worth more. The Judge is just better for WADA. Like, if you have 2 guns you can take, of course it's the 2 signature weapons, right?
Right, as you should. Yep, forgive me. I'm me the fool.
They don't let fools into the Bene Gesserit typically, so I think you might actually be in the clear if you know what fear is. YFP also know what fear is after their experience back on Lotus. But this is a team that 2-0'd WADA last time they faced off, so I want to see things get a little bit cleaner. On anti-ecos, even on Lotus, you saw YFP like to group up and just go for quicker hits for the most of the part.
This would classify as a quicker hit if they fully commit out onto this. Oriental using the dog, the wall, shoves them in the corner.
Everybody's netted up.
Yeah, and you still have a ton of utility for Astralis to play around. I mean, you have that Judge, you have the Outlaw, you have everyone here, but both of them just hit the ground with a clatter and nothing else. YFP managed to respond much earlier this time than they did on Lotus.
Yeah, actually winning this anti-bonus, and now also with good work farming up orbs on Glowstick and also just getting some kills in the spike plants. Have the Nightfall online for a big swing round. And I think that's really important, especially, you know, I was talking about how you need to use a lot more utility to clear away the forward lines of whether it's going to be a Judge or the Operator that's now in play for Starbound. Having the Nightfall allows you that freedom because you can use all the Fade KO utility to deal with B main or mid or whatever. And then when you scale up into the site, you're always going to have the Nightfall to be able to tap into and really simplify dealing with these key players. You didn't expect Juna through the smoke though. That was I don't know what abilities or prep or really anything can stop that from happening.
No, even the new agent couldn't figure that one out.
No, and that guy can figure out a lot of things.
Yeah. Except a better name. Scary Shark pushing out the smoke towards mid, and they're gonna have a little bit of room to work with here. Diligence out of the Prowler to make sure there's nobody playing up close. But it's a freeze for YFP.
Yeah, I mean, we're making a lot of noise, but we're not really going anywhere with it. And the problem is they want to reset into maybe splitting into A where there's 3 players, their sensors deeper. I mean, they need to be pretty clean on this opening fight here to be able to get past Femboy later.
1 enemy remaining. 30 seconds.
I don't know that I'd call that clean, but Glowstick gets 2, and there's still 2 waiting on the other side.
Prowler got info. Problem is 20 seconds left on the clock. You can't go into B. But because it is a Judge in main, I think there should be a plant here for Glowstick. Not if you take all the time in the world, but... Not if you take all the time in the world.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Now the spike secured, gives you a little bit more money off getting that thing down.
Yeah, Glowstick knows Femboy is just baiting in in A main, so Starbound can continue creeping forward. So I like this reposition. I like not just sitting out in the open. Glowstick's left is completely weak, but it's a full gamble to say that player is not flanking me through mid. You have to hold your ground.
And you can jump and make a bunch of noise and spot for Starbound to take the line, or you can just slide out with the Judge and get the kill. And that's exactly what Femboy does. The defuse goes through. And Femboy gets 1 step closer to having the ult online. WADA up to 3.
So you asked an interesting question 2 rounds ago, which was, when you know everything your opponent wants to do and the style of their players, how do you beat them?
Thank you.
I could use a drop.
Well, Glowstick knew exactly what WADA were trying to do there. Knew the 2 players alive, knew exactly what was going on. I mean, but those players can still just beat you 1v1. That's why this team wins so much. It doesn't matter if you know their general playstyle. Their general playstyle is really good for a reason.
There.
Sure. Well, back on this lighter buy for YFP, you've got 2 Stingers and then 3 rifles. They're just buying down whatever they can, really. You take a look at the credits. There's meager scraps that they're putting together. Ult's gonna get popped. Starbound slams their face into a wall, albeit momentary. And they roll out onto the site. This is the fast, aggressive hits that we've come to expect from this squad.
Face your fear.
They want to fight forward as well. That Nightfall going real deep back into spawn and 3 players fighting up, even with the teleport into heaven.
But there's not even a ton of follow-up on this. I mean, you think they'd go ahead and follow behind it and try to get a pick if you are going to fully aggro out and scale up, but that's not what they do. They just freeze on it. Now WADA are going to creep their way back forward. Zoriental has to take a step back, as does Corrupt. And so this delicate push and pull continues to play out, and not in the favor of YFP. The Paranoia a little bit off the mark, but they can continue to scale up, continue to scale forward. Now, YFP punching back, but of course it's a Judge. It's always the Judge. It's always WADA. Unbelievable that they do it again.
Femboy's just dancing out there. 2 kills with the Judge.
You're welcome.
Picks up a Vandal and just slides back in for a 3rd. That was gorgeous. And again, I can't help but feel like, Femboy just taking all these close range fights is just a beautiful thing to watch. But one thing I noticed back on the last map, and also now here, there have been so many times where Starbound has nearly gotten punished, missed a shot with the operator, whatever, and then someone swings, but Starbound with a quick switch over to the headhunter is still able to secure the kill. And this is something that is just very hard to deal with because the pullout time on the headhunter is so quick, but YFP have to be better at capitalizing off of the missed shots, or they're going to continue to run into situations like that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're able to best Starbound or kind of get by Starbound off of a missed shot or whatever, then you have Femboy, then you have Juno, then you have a Charlotte, then you like this roster's just stacked, man. And even in the, I do love how WADA are expecting a lot of these early hits. You take a look at how some of the positioning on how they're playing on the sites. They know how YFP like to play the attack side. They know that they like to play with a little fire and brimstone, and they're ready for it anyway. They take a step back. They know where the aggression's coming from, and they can weather that and then punch back in. And it's honestly been a treat to watch out from WADA.
It's been so nice. And even seeing that it's like different players also getting the big kills, like Juno's up on 7 after a quieter first map. Like, this is a team that you're going to have different players that can step up round to round, map to map. And in long series like this, you're going to need that because, you know, very few players can come out and just dominate the server every single map. Not to say they don't exist, but it's teams that have, it's teams that we don't talk about stage 2.
Dogmo.
Yeah, there's not a lot of them though. There's not a lot of them. But luckily, WADA always have someone that can rise to the occasion. You know. You certainly can't top frag every map. You'd be lucky to top frag one.
Okay, that was unnecessary.
See, I can dish it too. I can dish it too.
Listen, I've been setting you up all cast.
Yeah.
I complimented your looks.
Okay.
We haven't even talked about your baby blues yet, and that's what I get.
Okay, Doug. I take it back. I didn't mean it, Doug.
Anywho, after the tech pause, which was due to a mouse issue, I believe that's been rectified, and now there's a quick timeout called on the other side of a stage for YFP, who once again find themselves down and out in this fight. And look, the desk talked about it too. I kind of want to go back to this here a little bit because the desk talked about how it seemed like on the second half of Lotus, they were starting to show signs of life. They felt a lot more comfortable on the attack side, and all of a sudden, okay, this is the YFP we were expecting. But Chrissy, this has been a dreadful start, and the fact that they're back on this eco, conventional wisdom would suggest that we're going to be looking at 5-1 here real soon. Yeah, it's pretty grim, especially with the 2 big initiator ults invested in the last round to no success, right? This is a YFP team that's playing, you know, double smokes comp with the Neon. Like, they don't have big, heavy-hitting ults outside of the KO and the Fade, so when those come online after farming up orbs consistently, you have to make them pay off, or this game is just going to run away from you. I mean, they're already a step out the door, if I may.
I agree.
YFP in a position here to maybe steal a round away. I love how aggressively WADA are playing this, knowing that YFP are on an eco. They decide they want to redraw the line of scrimmage much further up down the middle of the map and force them into an awkward spot. They're even denying space here. This is WADA are playing this beautifully well.
Honestly, I want to see YFP in future rounds try to realize a lot of teams are just going to play 1-3-1 a lot. I think there's opportunities to try and walk more into A or B, even if the chamber could be on that side of the map. I think that taking that chance and letting solo lurkers work either B or A, with the off chance that maybe you're finding Strawless instead and taking that fight's a little bit easier, give some more options.
There's the pop. Juno under incredible suppressive fire. And there's the Odin. Now the Odin's online, and the situation that we thought was pretty difficult to solve already just became infinitely more complicated with the introduction of that weapon.
I can't say I love the Clove Resurrect there. That's another ultimate that means nothing for YFP. Like, we are really starting, and I mean, obviously we use the Neon ult because it's an eco, but we've now used the 4 best ults that we have to nothing, and there is an Omen ult that we can invent some kind of a play with.
Yeah, maybe if you got a little creative and you got some depth in the playbook, got a couple of rich ideas, but something they're gonna have to figure out.
I think Sherrod is thinking similarly to me.
Stay focused.
And maybe going to go for a more aggressive B main lurk this round. At least that's what I'd really hope to see. Sherrod just sort of stayed put in the previous round with the lower weapon, but we're trying to fake an A ult into enemy lines. Instead, we just walked B main. Sherrod is not thinking what I'm thinking. The team was just running an A fake into a B exec. Except our Neon is on A.
Right, and the deep smoke to maybe suggest that's where the Omen TP'd, but it was just a TP outside of B main.
There's a deadlock wall. There's deadlock sensors. We still don't have Neon to break this. We're teleporting in with Nora. That's the best shot YFP are going to have.
The wall has been cleared already. Astralis is there to greet the welcome party.
You know what? That's better than I thought it was going to go for YFP. 1 for 1, we certainly take those. Now can set up a post play. It's not so grim.
Do you feel the walls closing in? Because I do.
My concern is the 4 players in B main. WADA are going to take their time, and this flank is going to be hard to make work against 4.
Juna has to be careful. Yeah, that one's tough. I mean, Juna consistently is in these positions, and sometimes a little cart before the horse. This time, Scary Shark with the best power as well.
And Doug, now there's no smokes for main. Like, with Juna falling, WADA have no real shot to actually get any fights going their way. Off has to be saved. The judge slides into its death. YFP finds success.
And to think you were criticizing the play at the beginning. Unbelievable.
You know what? Credit to Corrupt. Corrupt got the trade while full stunned. Now, me personally, I think usually when players are stunned, they should be dying. But
don't get me started.
No. I just baited everyone in chat freaking out right now, bringing up
Don't
Breach.
get me started. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that was a round where I think WADA did everything right. Not everything right. Pre-spike being planted, I thought they were absolutely in the better position, and YFP were kind of walking into their death, but a good trade gets them right back in it.
Stealing.
A little paranoia, a little stun, and aggro out from WADA.
Wait, we just got hit by our own deadlock net.
Well, you know, semantics. But my question is, YFP, surely you're accelerating on the other side of this. You've heard a ton of utility towards B, even the aggro wall. And that's exactly what they do. They TP back, Starbound in a sticky spot here. But reinforcements have arrived.
Smoke.
Yeah, and the window, you could argue, has been missed.
Keep your eyes on mid for Femboy. The only real threat for WADA to get back in.
Oh boy, Astralis finds the mark once more. Gonna bring a KO all the way into their lap. Sherrod in smoke utility. WADA completely bulldozed around, but there's just not enough, man. There's not enough. The problem too is that they're getting picked, Ender, on some of these early fights on these entries for the retake. And even when you start getting to where you can punch back and trade off of each other and things like this, you're back into a 5v3. And so, yeah, you can trade very quickly, but those numbers don't add up when you're down.
That came down to 3 things for me. First of all, as you said, it's the early pick. Then it's also the fact that Astralis' ultimate is connecting. It's just a free kill. YFP, we said earlier, their ults just didn't get value. WADA's are. And then also, I think that there were there's this like smoke that went down sort of in the middle of sight that isolated a lot of the YFP players, so they're all kind of fighting on their own, whereas WADA are marching forward as a horde of 4 players. So of course they're going to win those fights, or at the very least get the trades favorably.
Where are you?
A little spam. It's actually Juna who gets caught again.
Corrode is an interesting map with a lot of tactical depth.
Yeah, that's one way to put that. I honestly, anyway, that's not.
The Odin is an interesting gun with a lot of tactical depth.
Oh, stop. Oh, stop. Don't start.
I don't know why I'm just baiting today. This is great.
You really are. And you know what? I'm falling for it every time. The Paranoia out the right side of the map. The Prowler will clear as well. But Power Pixel in a really nice spot. There's the Odin. 2 found. Overwhelmed, though, outnumbered and outgunned, and now the site is YFP's.
Didn't you see the tactical depth? I mean, they had to hold down the trigger and then go back to the left, holding it down still, and then go back to the right? That's 3 different layers.
You spend too much time on the internet, I've decided. And so this KO will stall the retake, at least for a little bit. It'll buy a little bit of time.
Bro wants to be Vito so bad.
But now they speed up. Terrible name, by the way. starting to push forward. Starbound gets a pick. The Headhunter not going to find. It's Smart. Charlotte gets 3 on the round. Astralis will fall as well. YFP gets a 3.
There we go. By the Odin is punished immediately. YFP setting the world right once again with a round win. And you know what?
Nature's healing.
Nature is healing. I don't know how his offseason is going, actually, but WADA are going to be the ones to call a timeout here. You've unleashed the beast, Doug.
We need to put him back in that box. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think that would be a very good call. But again,
right,
look,
what's the adjustment here for WADA, right? They call a timeout for the. I think that they did this at the second half of Lotus, but for the most part, they've been in the power position. So, what's some of the conversation here, if you had to surmise?
Well, I would say, first of all, adjusting if they're going to continue going for the mid fights. Like, how do we just not die to the spam?
Right.
I don't know exactly what the details are on that,
Sure.
what the util was, or if it was just full random, but that's certainly a possibility. I think I'm looking at the buy and wondering like if they could run like a more aggro look in the mains, because I think one thing we haven't seen a whole lot of is like Starbound just going on a walk in B main, Starbound going for a walk in A main. This is something that Chamber players absolutely can do on this map and can give you a different look to just the 3 players more aggressively fighting for the mid space every round.
I want to get your thoughts on this. I've been thinking about this for a little bit. Juna, I love the confidence with which she plays, even when struggling. Juna will take an aggro fight, will take an aggro line, will consistently hit flanks and try to catch YFP slipping. But it has been punished a few times. Do you think that might be an adjustment that's made too?
I'm not so sure. I think the deaths like in this game are less to do with like the last round at the very least, just getting picked into mid. I actually really like having a more aggressive stance being taken, especially when your team was always playing double senti. I think you need some players that can take a little bit more liberties and threaten more active looks.
And so if Starbound continues to hit, okay, those are the adjustments. Starbound don't miss, Power Pixel don't miss, and they'll win rounds.
Starbound walk up into A main, get a kill. Yeah, sounds good.
3 for Starbound off of that ult. Juna gets the last. Who is, I mentioned it earlier in the series, and I really want to touch on it again. The value that Juna has provided this team, I mean, it's just, it's insane.
Been absolutely unreal for the squad. I mean, this is a team that they formed for kickoff, right? Like brought together a bunch of friends, like let's play together, let's have a good time. Then they happen to win kickoff. It's like, wait a second, I guess we're not retiring. I guess we're like obligated to keep playing if we're just the best team. Of course, getting second place to Shopify Rebellion in stage 1, but okay, that's an adjustment to the mid fight.
Where is that eye? How did that eye get so much value?
Bring them
Where?
down.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would love to see that again. Yeah.
it was one of the high ones. I didn't catch where it fell on the minimap, but YFP just not holding for it on the advance. Oh, YFP also just don't really have the proper guns to be looking. Not that you can't break a hunt with a sheriff.
Stop it. Stop it. Cut that out.
I think YFP were intentionally going for like a fast sprint up play instead of like usually where they're playing down bot mid and breaking it. So that haunt probably wasn't catching them when they're playing the slower rounds. That's why it surprised them so much. Oh, it's just what? Astralis, get out of here. Go. That's an ace. You just stole an ace.
I'm sure the comps are really uncomfortable right now. Yeah. Would not want to be a fly on the wall in the team speak right now. Nope.
That's bad. Oh my, and it's bot frag stealing the ace from top frags. Oh no. Oh no, no, no.
Yeah, that's going to be a long car ride home.
Corrupt was even reloading. There was no chance Power could lose it.
Double Odin now. Femboy has given up their menacing ways of the judge and the Bucky and decided to move over to greener pastures.
Interestingly enough, though, when Femboy was going a Sleepy Aria back during kickoff, it was always the judge and the Odin. They were doing a ton of Odining on the Neon and the Rays.
Hold the thought. Hold that thought. They fully decided to try to hit out onto the site. You've got that Omen that's TP'd up. For Scare Shark, Femboy's already been dealt with. Odin not really connecting here. Power's going to show up a little bit late. to this party, but it's going to have to be a 5v3 retake attempt. And they've got a knife all of their own. Glow stick now down. There are legs to this.
Hold.
Nora is still on site, though.
And in such a ratty spot. I mean, how do you clear it? Yeah, then you've got... Uh-oh. Okay. That's a problem. 2v2, ult used. Immediately cleared out. Corrupt is down to 22 HP. This is winnable. Corrupt with the peak, the shoulder peak in perfect self. Holds it to half. Starbound gets the last. A 9-3 half for WADA. What a mess.
Yeah, I mean, just wild. That round to me is all power pixel, right? The Nightfall commitment in 3v5, then sprinting up into heaven to get a kill on one of those players trying to zoom out of the sight. Well, full defense. That was absolutely major. Sitting 3-1 in terms of KD ratio, 18-6. Just an insane first half for the Fade.
This, unfortunately, if I may remind folks at home, and if you are a YFP fan, mute the stream for a second. This is their map pick. This is the map where it felt like if you were going to extend, if you were going to maybe take it to 5, and this kind of had to be it. And there were concerns about making it to 5 because of the lack of experience, as Dre mentioned on the desk. But we might not even get to that point. They might not even have to cross that bridge at this point.
With so much riding on this series for both of the teams, frankly. YFP, they need to win out Americas in order to go to Seoul for Game Changers Champs. WADA winning this guarantees them at the very least participation in LCQ down in Brazil to try and be the second squad coming from Americas.
No escape. Can't you?
Scare Shark's in trouble. The net, the dash through. Actually, the TP away keeps him alive. The wall on the other side. Femboy may have, I believe that classifies as overswinging. But WADA has their backs.
Where are you?
Nice little pop into sight. Looks like YFP are just ignoring the wall, regrouping 3 players back into spawn, but this simplifies the post plant so much. You can see WADA are allowed to play 2 players around default on site because they're not worried about their back. And that just makes it almost impossible to breach out of this choke point out of elbow.
How do YFP get back into this? A sliver of health on their Fade. And the eye already cleared. Spotted one heaven. You know the other 2 players available are elbow. Given the utility. Given the shots from power. 3, Starbound gets the last. WADA continue to pile it on, man. This is getting out. This is out of hand.
And these execs are just so brutal as well. I think the deadlock from Astralis, having the ability to just throw the deadlock wall from B main over the building in front to land and cut off the rotations through mid, because Corrode is a map that's all about, you see it every round. 3 players control mid so you can quickly rotate between the sites, cut down on that travel time between the 2 opposite ends of the map. Well, the deadlock wall just completely invalidates that. Until Odins come into play for YFP, they're not going to be able to move quickly through mid.
It's a dangerous peak. Oh, the flash is beautiful. Very well set up.
Unfortunately, Chamber simply existing means teleport away. So YFP, who fully invested to try and win this round, have to try something. Here's Oriental with 2!
Down A.
That paranoia was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Tags everybody, and then the Bucky down their throats. What a play.
And now WADA slow things down, go on a walk. They've got a full minute to work with, so they're going to cut back into mid. Make sure no one's posted up at the bottom. That B side, if they continue forward, is very light. Just Sherrod in the corner with the stinger. Although now that this knife tags nothing, it's a good rotation from Corrupt to try and anticipate this cut over into B.
I mean, you could still be on the left side of A main, and that's why I think they aren't fully rotating. But now the noise has been made, and now the race is on. But they're going to show up a little bit late here.
The race is just too slow. Well, Judah, a little too aggressive. Those moments there for sure.
Caught with utility out, too. I mean, a tough spot trying to beat the timing.
Doug, it's an outlaw versus 3 light armors. Again, rotates through mid, not possible because of the deadlock.
Starbound's good. That's 1. TP's away. Astralis fills in on the space. It's left in a 1v1. Remember the light armor. Starbound surely is reloaded at this point, and that bullet will seal the deal. WADA get to 11.
Starbound is just always a safe pair of hands deep into the rounds. If it's not Power Pixel, it's Starbound, who's only dropped 3 times in this game. That is an absurd stat. I didn't even realize that. You think about all the pressure YFP were putting to try and punish Starbound on the forward lines in the first half, to even that last round. It's a pop flash aggro piece in B main. Starbound just slips away from. Starbound just simply is not losing fights today.
Nope. Starbound is not. Power hasn't lost the fight in as long as I can remember. Yeah.
On a map like Corrode, you're probably dying 3 times to spam through walls and through smokes in a game.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Numbers can't be this low.
But alas, here we are with WADA once again, up an insane amount of rounds. And YFP trying to figure out where it all went wrong.
No, WADA again with the slow macro, calling into exactly the right side of the map. Nobody's home on B site. The difference maker could be the forward position from Sherrod in mid. That could turn into a quick flank potentially. That could turn into maybe hearing some noise that rotates through spawn, but I think it's just far away enough that there's not information for YFP.
Really? I thought for sure that would have been close enough, and I guess it's still far enough back in spawn. But they're starting to rotate over anyway. I think lack of info on lack of presence.
Hey, good knife. Oh, and the knife stops the wall from being thrown out for 8 seconds. But it won't matter because eventually it'll go down, and I just don't think that Zoriental's going to be able to get in here.
That was scary for a second. I don't think anyone was holding heaven, but now the smoke goes up. The TP goes through, the neon wall as well, and the site is once again theirs.
Double flank, though, on the other side. That's the way in for YFP.
But they just don't have guns. They don't really have the guns for it. And it doesn't matter. Starbound holds the line. Impenetrable. And there's Femboy. Once again. Back to their antics. Ghostic left in a 1v4 very quickly. Dealt with and disposed of. WADA get to map point. Yeah.
Starbound is just immortal. 1 HP. It's plot armor at this point. We're sitting 17-3 now. Simply absurd. As WADA edge closer to map. I mean, well, series point if they win this. And by all accounts, if you haven't watched any of GC since kickoff, since stage 1, you're like, yeah, of course, this is the expected result. But just a couple days back, it was YFP that 2-0'd WADA in a pretty stunning fashion. Now on the verge of going down to that same number.
Map point right now. Aggro B main. The trip has been spotted, and I mean, brother, I'm running out of ways to describe Starbound killing YFP.
There aren't any more ways you can do.
Where's the freaking thesaurus? I need a thesaurus. Starbound with 3. Stop me if you've heard this before. Corrupt finally puts Starbound down.
Omen killed.
And glow stick. All right. A bullet in Juna's ear. All of a sudden, we've equalized numbers. Femboy has the judge. Astralis has his Spectre. And a flash to push the line, but look at this spike on the minimap. I mean, they cannot get past this. They're going to have to take these fights, and either they win it or the round is over, but the spike is not really in play right now. You don't really have time to flank around or do anything silly. What's the play here for WADA?
I don't know if there really is going to be one. Astralis is now finally going to go on the flank, but we're down to 30 seconds. Femboy can't take any of these fights. Not with the gun.
No.
I mean, it's going to be a round not about the spike, it's about the kills. They're expecting 2 players on the camp. Astralis needs this first one.
Glow stick knows. Oh, position given away. That net's going to hurt. Femboy falls. Astralis has to do it on their own. Corrupt gets 3, and YFP stay alive.
All right. Okay. Now, by all accounts, WADA were in a hugely winning position in that round.
Right,
but
as they were.
Let me posit something to you. Do you think it's a coincidence that Starbound has died 4 times and YFP have won 4 rounds?
Let me get my TI-83 out here.
Run the numbers.
Like this needs a little. Yeah.
So
Carry the
4 and 4 are the same number. You're aware of that fact?
Yes. Yeah. It looks the same anyway.
I think the plan should be to kill Starbound.
Okay.
Go.
Well, you were the coach. You obviously know better. I'm going to go ahead and go with your judgment on this one. We'll see if they can get a pick on Starbound.
Personally, I would stick to Femboy's judge, not mine, but each their own.
Well, Scary Shark has failed on the initial attempt to do what you have requested of YFP. Starbound still alive.
But again, early picks, they don't matter as long as you just kill that player eventually.
Right. Right. You can win at 3v5 or 3v4 as long as Starbound's dead. Yeah.
It's interesting how YFP are playing this. They've got B main controls Oriental on the corner of the chamber trip, fully giving away mid space. It makes it a little bit awkward for their A players now, worried about potential pinches.
Interesting. They even hit a paranoia up the middle of the map.
Wall.
There's Starbound. Starbound's down. They should win the round. Surely. Corrupt gets another kill. 3v3. The dash through. Oh no, it got a little messy there. Femboy dashing across with the judge. Advantage WADA. Not just in the series, but in the round and potentially in the map. This, barring a miracle from Sherrod, will seal the deal. Will take us to Abyss in a dominant lead from WADA. But they still have to close this out, and that Nightfall might just be the icing on the cake. The door has been slammed shut. WADA win 13-4, and they get that much closer to the grand finals.
Just a stunner after a close map.